Today marks 1567 day of daily lessons, day reflections. Today I speak about progress, but different kind of progress because a lot of times progress is seen when you are adding things. What it means is that when you're really becoming better and better. So if you're going to a gym and you're able to lift 100 pounds and then you're able to lift 105 pounds, then that means you added 5 pounds. That is addition. That is a progress. That is easy to measure. But I think that true progress, especially when you begin in life, regarding emotional regulation, about bad habits, especially bad habits, sometimes it's not about addition, it's about subtraction. So, what I mean by that is that if you are really potentially watching TV shows non-stop, 6 hours, 7 hours, so that means subtraction means rather than watching 6 hours, maybe you want to watch 5 hours, then 4 hours. So that 1 hour of subtraction is progress. The will really reflect on that. I put 7 notes, but those not every single note is probably worth mentioning. But we'll see what how much I will share. But I think that's extremely important to understand that sometimes when you have a bad habit and you want to really remove that bad habit, sometimes progress feels like fake before it becomes obvious. I think that one of the biggest mistakes that we have tendency to do, like as people, we have a bad habit and we want to remove that bad habit. But I think that what's more powerful or beneficial for us is rather than removing that bad habit, is subtracting that bad habit. So I already shared that if you watch Netflix 2 hours or maybe playing games for 4 hours straight, rather than saying that I will not play whatsoever 0 hours, maybe you can say like today I will play only 3 hours or Instagram scrolling or social media scrolling. Rather than doing that for 3 hours, today my goal will be to do that 2 hours 30 minutes. I will track myself that I don't do more than that. And then okay, I will do 2 hours 15 minutes. Then I will do 2 hours. Then I will do 1 hour 45 minutes. Then I will give myself 1 hour 30 minutes. Then I will give 1 hour 15 minutes. And maybe you will reach a moment when it's like 1 hour a day. That's totally fine for me. Like it's not a bad habit anymore. If you overdo it, then it becomes bad. Or some for certain things, maybe you'll want to remove altogether. But again, this is a beautiful thing when we actually focusing on subtracting things at the beginning when you want to achieve great success, rather than adding things into our life. Second thing is that I think very very important to mention is that the biggest improvement sometimes is response time, not behavior. So what it means is that response time is that when you said that I don't want to scroll social media, and you start scrolling, and then you catch another video and another video, another video, and then you, after an hour and a half, you say, "Wow, where the 1 hour and a half went?" And rather than spending 1 hour and a half, now you're able to catch yourself. You are scrolling right in a half an hour, maybe able to catch yourself within 5 minutes. Wow, this is not what I want to do. Or maybe you are experiencing some kind of anxiety, and you experience that anxiety for an hour, and you are catching yourself, and you're aware of that, and then you do some kind of mindfulness activity, breathing 4 times, counting breathing, or anything that there could be mindfulness, and being able to really that have that recovery, that time fast, that how fast you're able to catch that. And I think that's extremely important, with especially with bad habits, that you're able to catch yourself that you're already doing it, and rather than wasting a couple hours, to be able to waste only a couple minutes until you totally remove the bad habit whatsoever. It's interesting that when you really have a bad habit and you spend 5 hours, and then you for 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and after a while, maybe able to remove that bad habit whatsoever. And I think that when we become more wise, sometimes we can potentially judge ourselves how you were able to do that, how you were able to spend that many hours. And I think that sometimes we need to be more gentle to ourselves, more compassionate, give ourselves grace, because now we are more capable, now we are more wise, now we have more perspective. But back then, we didn't have perspective, we didn't have wisdom, we didn't have clarity. There's so many things we didn't have, and based on our capacity at that moment, that's what we were able to do. And I think that that's the way that compassion towards ourselves releases ourselves from past mistakes, because sometimes those past mistakes are keeping ourselves stuck, because oh, And rather than think about the future, all the big things that they can achieve, but keep doing the right things, we're thinking about all the things that are already wasted. And I think that's not smart whatsoever. Number four, and this is just a reminder, is that consistency beats intensity so hard it is unfair. It's unfair battle between intensity and consistency. And I probably have heard 1,000 times that analogy. If you're going to a gym 12 hours, probably will not get too much out of it. But if you do 12 hours in 12 days, 1 hour every single day, most likely in 2 weeks, you will achieve a tremendous success. Might be that you will not get what you wanted in 12 days because you will need to do more of them. And maybe sometimes even doing half an hour for 24 days. That could lead to massive success. And I think that being able to be consistent in every single thing is extremely important, especially as well in reducing things, subtracting things. So let's say that I did used to do 4 hours. Now I'm able to do 3 hours 45, and sometimes reducing like masses. Like I used to do 4 hours, now I'll do only 15 minutes. No, I think that being able consistently remove little by little the bad habit, I think that's exactly will beat intensity, because intensity would be that okay, we'll drop from 4 to 1 hour. That's intense. But being saying I will drop from 4 to 3 hours 45, then 3:30, then 3:15, that's just consistency every single day. I think that's just will be much easier to remove the bad habit. Number five is that you will stop needing motivation and boredom increases. I think that's a very interesting thing that when you really start to do the right thing, sometimes boredom increases because I think that we get used to dopamine of scrolling or a little bit different emotions. Sometimes when we really even potentially good thing that listening to YouTube or other things for motivational quotes for learning materials, that gives us a dopamine because you learn something new. And now when you don't do that, when you don't allocate that time, and you really sometimes even give yourself peace and being able to be present and mindful, that might be sometimes even boredom. But being able to okay with that for season time before you build a foundation to build something to add on, that's something extremely important. Number six, and this I think is extremely important to mention when thinking about bad habits, is relapses. And relapse becomes data instead of disasters. So what it means is that when you relapse on certain things, be able to ask, okay, where did it happen? Maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe I didn't eat well. Maybe something happened. Maybe there's something increased my anxiety. Where that relapse came from? Because now we know that okay, maybe I was just not in my mind because of this, and that's what's really led me to that. So next time, I may be able to really build a guide rail, some kind of boundaries around it, so I could not fall in this same relapse. And sometimes interesting thing that our default way of doing things are still bad because when you are building routines and when you build that routine, that routine being becomes your default even during bad day, your relapse date, you fall back on a default. So if it's not default yet, so maybe that's we still need to work consistently on that habit so we can really put and create a good habit. And I think that the last thing and probably one of the most important things about breaking the bad habits that you waste a lot of hours is that even sometimes when you are in a financially in minus, because one day you realize you're not longer in red. So wasted 4 hours, now you saved all the hours and you added something there. Maybe you were minus $10,000 with the finances, and now you were so 9,500, 9,000, 8,500, 8,000. And now at some point, and this beautiful thing is that when you are long enough, in less bad days, at some point, at some point in life, that less bad day will become a good day. Such a powerful thing. A less bad day will become a good day if you just keep doing the right thing day after day. And I think that's again when you really move from 9,000 and then minus 1,000 and minus 500, and at some point it will hit zero. And sometimes that neutral day will be the most favorite days of all. because that's where you're able to now moving from subtraction. You subtract that minus. Now you start adding to submission or to addition. So now it will be from minus 500 to 0, and then from 500,000. And of course, life changes and be able to even change and make our habits differently. For example, if when you are in the house, your money is in minus, you financial situations are very bad. Everything is in house. At that moment, a lot of times we're not able to focus on massive realizations. I think that even meditation during the house is better. Calming meditations, grounding meditations, awareness of meditations. But when you really that's when you do subtraction season. But now when you finish the subtraction season, then you'll be able to look into, okay, I'm neutral, I'm going to add. Now let's look into visualization. We look into creation. Let's look into something that meditation that really allows to bring more ideas into my life. And I think that's important to understand where you at. Are you subtraction, removing all the bad things? Are you in addition when you really build on strong foundation, something that is meaningful? So I hope you just win and see you tomorrow.